Hare Krishna, Namaste, Chapter 9, entitled as Raja Vidya Rajaguhyam. Sloka 15. Jñāna-yajñena cāpy yajanto mam upāsate ekatvena pṛthaktvena bahudhā viśvato-mukham. This sloka plus next 4 slokas describes the manner in which Krishna is to be worshipped through jñāna-yajñena. Let's see the word by word. Anye, still others, jñāna-yajñena, through the offering of knowledge, mam, me, yajanto, worshipping, bahudhā pṛthaktvena, diversified in numerous ways, viśvato-mukham, and in the universal form, ekatvena, in oneness, as one having all the entities in him, upāsate, worship. Translation: others who engage in sacrifice by the cultivation of knowledge worship the Supreme Lord as the one without a second, as diverse in many and in the universal form. Baladev Vidyabhushan, in his Gita Bhushana commentary, very nicely explains this verse. Having spoken of the devotees known as Mahatmas, who have predominance of pure bhakti in the form of chanting and other process that we saw in the previous slokas, and who are fixed on their pure form of love towards Krishna. Now Krishna speaks of other devotees other than what he has spoken on the 13th sloka, who have predominance of jnana, knowledge, with the process of bhakti. They are different from the one mentioned previously. They worship Krishna through jñāna-yajñena. How do they worship? The method? They worship Krishna as actually one, but who situated separately with material forms consisting of this prakriti, the pradhana, mahatattva, and all those 24 elements. That is what is mentioned here as pṛthaktvena. And he is situated as in many forms, devatas, manushya, pakshi, in all different forms. The point that to be understood here is that Krishna possesses subtle spiritual and material energies. By Krishna's sankalpa, when he thinks, let there be many, and everything get created. When his sankalpa of let everything be one, that is called pralaya, everything becomes one. During the karana stage, cause stage, everything is within him. The chit and achit, the sentient and non-sentient, everything is with Krishna, Brahman, and in that way is one. During the karya stage, the effect, that one Brahman which consists of everything now becomes many. When it was one, it didn't have a name, form, nothing. When it became many, then it had its name, form, and so forth. So, these great noble souls realize that Krishna is one. He manifests himself into many through his various energies. Therefore, they worship Krishna by contemplating Krishna in this manner. This type of sacrifice is called knowledge, which is jñāna-yajñena. There could be few arguments based on what we just saw. Like, how can one God become multiformed? If he evolves into diverse entities, it would imply that he is undergoing modification. If he is undergoing modification, then it is contradicting to the tenet that he is immutable, meaning he doesn't change, whereas here he seems to be is changing into many forms. How can we understand this? And the second question is, if it is Krishna who has multiformed into devatas, manushyas, pakshis, and so forth, that means he is also tainted with samsara, meaning this material contamination. He is also going through pleasures and pains. And lastly, if he is multiformed person, then how can we consider him to be one without a second? These are some of the arguments that Swami Vedanta Desikan brings in his Tatparya Chandrika. Let's see the response based on Achintya Bheda Abheda Tattva philosophy. The answer is very simple. It is Krishna and Krishna's energies. So Krishna has various energies, and through his energy these things get created into multiform. It's like energy and energetic, powerhouse and the power itself. Although there are no difference between the energy and energetic, the energetic is accepted as the supreme and the energy is accepted as the subordinate. Another example we can see is, say, sun. Sun is all light, the clouds, darkness, and snowfall. These are all part and parcel of the sun, one can say. Without the sun, there is no possibility of the skies being overcast with clouds or darkness or any of these things that we see on the earth. Although life is sustained by the sun, life is also disturbed by darkness, snowfall, which are produced by the sun. But it is also a fact that the sun itself is never overcome by darkness, clouds, or snowfall. The sun is far, far away from such disturbances. So what we have to understand here is energy and energetic. The Supreme Lord is energetic and he has various energies. Therefore, he is not contaminated by, he becomes multiformed through his energies. Therefore, we can say he is many because of his various energies. We can say he is one without the second because God is one. You cannot find a second one that is equal to or greater than Krishna. Further, Srila Prabhupada, in his commentary, he mentions that there are three types of persons who perform jñāna-yajñena. One is he who worships himself as one with the Supreme Lord. Number two, he who thinks of a form of the Supreme Lord and worships that particular form. Number three, he who accepts the universal form, the viśvarupa of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and worship that. Among these three, the first one is considered to be the lowest one, that is, those who worship themselves as the Supreme Lord. And the second class includes worshipper of the Supreme Lord in various forms. And the third class is those who worship the universal form, the entire universe. The best of these three is one who considers the universe as the supreme entity, conceives of the Lord's universal form within the manifest universe, and worship that. The next 4 slokas will explain how to worship Krishna through jñāna-yajñena process. Jñāna-yajñena cāpy anye yajanto mam upāsate ekatvena pṛthaktvena bahudhā viśvato-mukham. Namaste. Hare Krishna.